Hi, Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to everyone. My name is Abdul and I am from BMW. Okay, today our group will present to you about our experiment. The name of experiment is the strength of material when being heated. From this experiment, we realized that we got any change or any reaction on our material have been tested. To know about that, please stay tuned. Okay guys, first of all, before we go into the experiment, let me introduce to you what is material science and material engineering. For your information, material science is an interdisciplinary field involving the properties of matter and its application to various areas of science and engineering. It includes elements of applied physics and chemistry, as well as chemical, mechanical, civil, and electrical engineering. In material science, the basis of all material science involves relating to desirable properties and relative performance of a material in a certain application to the structure of the atom and phase in the material through characterization. Material science has many categories. There is nine categories, which is first is engineering design, second chemistry, physics, crystallography, bio and environment science, chemical engineering, architecture, product and designs, mechanical, and last but not least, civil engineering. Did you know what is polymer, ceramic, and material? These three material is a basic of classification of material. These three materials are separate based on primarily on chemical makeup and atomic structure. Okay, let me explain more about polymer, metal, and ceramic. Polymer is composed of many simple molecules that are repeating structural unit called as monomers. A single polymer molecule may consist of 100 to a million monomers and may have a linear, branch, or network structure. For the example of polymer is plastic bottle. For material is an element that readily forms positive ion and has metallic bonds. For example, for metal is forged metal. Ceramic are generally made by taking mixture of clay, powder, and water and shape them into desired form. Once the ceramic has been shaped, it is fired in a high temperature oven. Often, ceramic are covered in a decorative, waterproof, paint-like substance known as glazer. For example, clay glasses. That's all from my part. I will pass to my friend to continue the explanation. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Mama Aiman bin Asri. My took number is B091910387. I am from BMW section 1. So for today, I would like to talk about drawing and planning experiment. So from the assignment that has been given, we are going to design an experiment procedure or testing method to classify materials such as metal, polymer and ceramic according to its properties and by our knowledge in engineering material that we learn in this semester. So from we do the experiment by material that made of a common household component. So because of this situation, we do the experiment by our own because and it's very limited material. So we came out the idea is some simple experiment. So for the first in the planning experiment, we received the assignment question and we discuss among the group members and find out the task that been given on the assignment. So after that, we going to find out the factor to classify the material, which are metal, polymer, and ceramic. These classes can be differentiated with each other through their physical and chemical properties. So we do after that after we know about the factor to classify the material, we doing some research on the physical and chemical properties of the material of the three material, the metal, polymer, and the ceramic, and came out the idea about the possible way to classify them. Okay, next we came out the variable. After we do the discussion, we came out the variable. So we get three variable, which is constant variable, independent variable, dependent variable. For the constant variable is the way to test the experiment. For the independent variable is the test specimen. For the dependent variable is the time taken of the experiment. So in this experiment, we take a time taken. We take a time taken to do the experiment, and we see what are the reaction about the material when we burn it out. So that is the main idea. Okay, next the discussion we conduct it with many ways suggested. So we choose the possibility with the right choice. For example, we separate method. We separate the method and the suggested with the more suitable for sorting purpose only, and it is not suitable for classification and recognize the material. So for the final, we discuss about the material, what we use, what we want to do. We collect the data and we collect the data that is analyzed, and the observation can be discussed in discussion part and can do the conclusion of the experiment. So for the apparatus that we use in this experiment is stove. That is stove. Second is gas tank. fork metal, ceramic mug, and plastic cap. So the component is that we can easily get in our home, because about the assignment it talk about household component. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Nurul Ain binti Sulaiman, and today I will explain about my part, which is methodology. In methodology, they have two parts, which are selection of material and selection of method. For selection of material, we discuss and decide to choose 3 specimens from the 3 categories, which is metal, ceramic and polymer. We also use the simple household specimen because it will save the cost of money. For the example of household item, our group use metal fork, ceramic mug and also plastic polymer. For selection of testing method, they have 2 parts, which are material for burning test and experimental setup. I will explain about the material for burning test first. The purpose of our group run the experiment about burning the material are to know which material will react in a short time and to test the strength of the material. We will use household item as the test of specimen, and the test also will be run with burn the material. We use containers and pressure burner as a source for burning all the materials. Before the experiment is running, we identify and do research to know which material will react quickly. Usually, the material that react in a short time is polymer, because polymer have poor temperature resistance and tensile strength. Meanwhile, the material that take a long time to react is metal. It is because the metal has good conductor of heat and high density. The burning process could be divided into 5 stages, which are origin, shrinking, melting and dripping, pyrolysis and ignition stage. For experimental setup, firstly, open the gas containers and pressure burner to start the fire. Make sure the experiment is running at the outdoor. Then, use the clamp to take the metal fork and make sure the metal fork is contact with fire. Wait for a few minutes, and when the metal fork show the changing, move the material and compare the metal fork before and after burning. After that, record the time and do the observation about changes that occur to the material. Repeat the step with using ceramic mug and plastic polymer. The maximum time taken to do the experiment is around 15 and 16 minutes, because the ceramic took a long time to reach the boiling point. Then the necessary data will be recorded to the table that given. From the observation, the metal fork will occur red hot light. Meanwhile, the plastic polymer will melting. Ceramic mug have no change based on our observation. That's all for me. Thank you. For the additional information, I will tell about process how to make ceramic mug. Step 1. Creating prototype and mold. The prototype is created with plaster or plastic, with plastic as the preferred option as it won't be damaged. The prototype may be hand-built or carved into a block of material. Plaster mold are necessary to be able to replicate the specific cup design. The mold are made up out of mainly 4 parts, 2 halves for the body and 2 halves for the handles. Step 2 is slip casting. Stoneware, earthenware and porcelain material are diluted with water until the clay turns into liquid. This liquid is then poured into the plaster mold. This makes the forming of different geometry shapes easier. The clay is left to harden and the excess moisture will be extracted by the plaster. This will prevent excessive shrinkage of the coffee cup when drying due to a dense structure. When the clay is hardened, the mold will be removed. Step 3 is firing. The hardened clay will then be placed into high temperature ovens to fire the coffee cup at firing temperature ranging for 1338 until 1960 depending on the specific material used. The values are the same as during the pottery wheel method above. This step will take between 2 and 12 hours. And lastly, step 4, glazing and second firing. After the first firing step, the coffee cups are extremely hot and will be left to cool. After they are cool, glazing will proceed, adding color and glossy texture to the cup. This process ensures waterproofing the coffee cup. After glazing, the cup will be fired again at temperature depending on the type of glaze and the initial material used. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Aiman Aqil bin Azri from BMMW. Today I'm gonna show you how to conduct an experiment at home. My experiment called the material strength when being heated. So let's go. So before the experiment, you must prepare the apparatus. So I'm gonna show you the apparatus. First, gas container, pressure burner, stopwatch, clamp, metal fork, ceramic mug and plastic polymer. This is the apparatus setup. Make sure that you conduct the experiment outdoor and wear safety equipment such as glasses or apron. So here we are ready for the whole setup of the experiment. First, you must light up the fire and make sure to control the fire pressure. Don't forget to use the stopwatch before conduct the experiment. For the first material, we're gonna use metal, fork metal. Make sure the fork metal are touched with the fire. We will let the fire heat the metal for 15 minutes. After that, we're gonna see the change of the metal. So here you can see the fork metal show the changing. Red hot light will occur after 15 minutes but not melt. So at a certain temperature, metal will melt. For the second experiment, we're gonna use ceramic mug. Don't forget to use the stopwatch before conduct the experiment. The fire will heat up the ceramic for 15 minutes like the metal. After 15 minutes, you can see there's no changing on the ceramic, but ceramic also will be melting at a certain temperature. So for the last material, we're gonna use polymer plastic. So I will heat up the polymer plastic. As you can see here, polymer plastic burn after it touched the fire. it only took 2 or 3 minutes to burn. So here you can see the changing of the material after burn by fire. So polymer plastic has melting point to at certain temperature, but the melting point to polymer plastic is too low compared to metal and ceramic. So that's all for our experiment today. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Hello, I'm Nurul Hidayah Binti Minduru. I'm from section 1, course BMMW. Today I'm going to discuss about our assignment 1, which is subject engineering materials. So our assignment 1 is about material classifications. So they provide 3 different classification, which is as a metal, polymer, and ceramic. Okay. First thing on this experiment, I will do my part discussions. Okay. Number 1 is fork metal. Fork metal is from stainless steel. Fork metals are typically hot, obtuse, and have good electrical and thermal conductivity. Generally, they are malleable, can be pressed permanently out of shape without breaking or cracking. Fusible, able to be fused or melt. Ductile, able to be drawn out into a thin wire. But based on our experiment, after we burn and hit the fork, the alternation turn into red hot light. This is due to the fact that the fork material is hot enough. So this is the picture of our experiment lah. Okay, during experiment, after experiment. Alright, we move to second object, which is ceramic mug. Ceramic is from ceramic. Okay. First, ceramic are at risk of cracking and thermal shock. Thermal shock is when the state of ceramic has changed due to the high heat change. The heat can cause the glaze to crack. But based on our experiment, the mug does not show any change. Time taken to prove that is 15.1 seconds. So move to our last object, which is polymer, but our object is plastic cap. As we know, polymer process is more complex. When polymer are cold, they will often become very brittle. When heat, polymer will first become flexible before melting. But based on our experiment, the plastic cap that we have tried, it melts. Time taken to prove that is 3.49 seconds. Okay, done for part discussions. Now we move to last part, which is conclusions. So our conclusion based on our experiment is the different classification of engineering material. Material can be categorized as metal, ceramic, polymer, or materials. Material from the same material classification often share similar properties. On the other hand, metal don't have any change after heat. As for ceramics, any video involved the same experiment show the ceramic shatter. However, the experiment we made does not give the same result, even though we took 15.1 seconds to perform it. Additionally, plastic took a short time to melt when heat. Lastly, we know the object has different result. So that's all from me. Thank you.